Hello, my friend of karmic affinity. When you hear the phrase self-improvement, how do you feel? Is it an invisible pressure weighing on your shoulders? Whispering that you are not good enough, that you need to strive harder, be more successful, and be more perfect? We often race to upgrade ourselves like repairing a broken machine, and yet the result we receive is only exhaustion. But in the wisdom of mindfulness, development does not mean adding new pressures. Development is casting off old burdens. It is not a journey racing towards some flawless future, but a journey of returning to be whole within the present moment. Today, let us redefine maturity. No coercion, no judgment, only understanding and nourishment. Before we begin, I want to ask you a sincere question. At this very moment, what does self-improvement truly mean to you? Let that answer guide you through this video. Lesson 1. Creating a morning that nourishes the soul. Let us begin with the first foundation of a mindful day, creating a morning that nourishes you rather than wearing you down. My dear friend, the morning is not just a time to start work. It is a sacred space for you to set the energy frequency for the entire day. Imagine your mind when just waking up is a still lake. If you immediately throw in the stones of negative news, work emails, or haste, the lake will ripple violently and remain murky throughout the day. I am not here to demand that you wake up at 4:00 a.m. or take cold showers if those things make you miserable. Spiritual practice should not be a form of torture. Build a morning ritual based on suitability and self-love. It could simply be spending the first 10 minutes without touching your phone. It is drinking a cup of tea in silence, feeling the warmth spread through your hands. Or it is sitting still and breathing, smiling to greet the new day. Any action that helps anchor you in the present is a sacred ritual. When you master your morning, you are no longer dragged along by the new day. You step into life with a steady, proactive stance, full of peaceful energy. Remember, the way you start your morning is the way you live your life. Lesson 2. One clear intention instead of 50 vague goals. Once you have a peaceful morning, the next step to maintain mindfulness during the day is choose one clear intention instead of getting lost in 50 vague goals. My dear friend, our modern minds are constantly overloaded. We want to work efficiently, be good parents, exercise, read books, meditate, all at the same time. We are like a traveler standing in a dense forest without a path. We run a little this way, a little that way, only to end up exhausted while still circling the same spot. Buddhism teaches one-pointedness. Complete focus on a single point. Instead of trying to do everything, choose a single intention to serve as the compass for your entire day. This intention is not a to-do list, but the quality you want to bring into every action. For example, if you choose the intention of patience when you arrive at the office and meet a difficult colleague, instead of reacting harshly, you remember your intention and choose to breathe deeply to listen. When you return home and the children are crying or the house is a mess, instead of getting angry, you remember patience and smile while cleaning up with them. No matter how circumstances change, from the office to the family, you are still walking one clear path. That intention is like a headlight, illuminating and dispersing the fog of chaos. Or you could choose gratitude or composure. Just one keyword, but hold it tightly. When you simplify your goals, you will feel the weight on your shoulders lighten. You are no longer torn by hundreds of invisible pressures. You know exactly where you are going and why you are doing it. That focus brings an immense inner strength, helping you navigate the long day in the most leisurely and effective way. Remember, less is more. One arrow hitting the mark is better than 100 arrows shot into the void. Lesson 3. Break old patterns. Do not break yourself. My dear friend, on the journey of self-change, there is a painful trap we often fall into. When we try to change and fail, we turn to attack ourselves. We tell ourselves, "Why am I so lazy? Why am I so weak? I am so useless. I am so useless." We believe our human nature is flawed. But today, I want to send you a liberating message. You do not have a problem. What has a problem are merely the old patterns. Do not confuse who you are with your habits. You are not procrastination. You are not anger. Those are just unconscious reflexes, programmed and reinforced over many years. When you want to change, that old pattern will struggle and resist. This is a natural mechanism of the brain, not evidence of your weakness. Instead of breaking yourself with remorse, focus on breaking the pattern. Observe it like a scientist observing an experiment. When laziness rushes in, do not say, "I am so lazy." Say, "Ah, the procrastination pattern is appearing." This subtle separation helps you stop identifying yourself with the mistake. Treat yourself with compassion. If a child learning to walk falls, do you hit them or pick them up? Your soul needs the exact same support. Every stumble is an opportunity to better understand the traps in your mind, not a reason for punishment. Be patient in untying each knot. When you stop fighting yourself, energy is released to create new, better habits. Remember, you deserve love even in your most struggling moments. Lesson 4. Do not manage time, manage energy. In the modern world, we are obsessed with clocks. We divide our days into minutes and hours, trying to cram as much work into them as possible. We believe productivity means doing the most work in the shortest time. But what is the result? It is burnout, a feeling of emptiness, despite completing a mountain of work. My dear friend, it is time to change the yardstick. Do not just manage time, start managing your energy. Time is a linear resource. Everyone has 24 hours. But energy is a cyclical and emotional resource. There are hours when you sit before the computer, but your mind is weary, unable to do anything. But there are also moments when, full of energy, you solve a problem in just 15 minutes. Learn to listen to the rhythm within your body. When are you at your clearest? When do you need rest? Do not force yourself to do creative work when your energy is at its lowest. Allow yourself to have truly high-quality breaks. Instead of asking, "How much time do I have left?" ask, "What kind of energy does this task require of me? And what is charging me? And what is draining me?" When you respect your own flow of energy, you will work not through straining, but through flowing with the current. You will find yourself doing less, but being more effective. And most importantly, you will keep the joy and freshness in everything you do. That is sustainable development. Lesson 5. Purify your living. Environment decisively. Once you know how to manage internal energy, we need to look outward. You cannot grow a healthy seed in a land full of weeds and toxins. Your surroundings have a greater impact on your consciousness than you imagine. The fifth lesson requires courage. Audit your environment without mercy. Start with physical and digital spaces. A cluttered room creates a chaotic mind. A phone constantly pinging with notifications tears apart your focus. Clean your desk. Turn off notifications and unfollow negative news pages. Create empty spaces for the mind to breathe. External order will bring internal stillness. Next, look at the relationships around you. There is a saying that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Ask yourself, are these people adding energy or draining it? Are they planting seeds of faith or fear in my heart? Buddhism places great importance on the Sangha, the community of those practicing together. If you want to live peacefully, seek out wise and virtuous friends. Do not hesitate to set boundaries with those who always bring complaints, criticism, or envy. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is a necessary self-respect so that you can steadily help others later. And finally, the deepest layer of the environment is what you allow to enter your mind every day. The music you listen to, the movies you watch, the books you read. All are food for the soul. If you consume garbage, your soul will be polluted. Select what is pure, wholesome, and spiritually uplifting. Remember, you are the gatekeeper for the temple of your soul. Do not open the door wide for anything to enter. Keep your living environment, from the outside to the inside, always clear and healthy. That is the best soil for the seeds of growth to sprout. Lesson 6. Turn discipline into the language of love. We often fear the word discipline. We think of it as a punishment, a constraint, or a strict teacher always holding a ruler, ready to strike our hand whenever we make a mistake. But today, I want to invite you to look at discipline through a completely different lens. The eyes of tenderness. Think about it. When you remind yourself to go to bed early instead of scrolling through your phone late at night, are you being harsh? No. You are loving your tired body, wanting it to rest and regenerate. When you choose to eat a healthy meal instead of fast food, that is not a deprivation of eating pleasure. It is how you cherish the temple of your health. When you refuse a pointless amusement to spend time reading a book, it is you loving your intellect. Discipline, in its essence, is the highest form of self-love. It is how you protect yourself from temporary desires that might cause harm later. It is how you commit to your long-term happiness. Do not practice discipline with remorse or coercion. Practice it like a kind mother caring for her young child. A mother does not give her child candy before mealtime, not because she hates the child, but because she wants the child to have a nutritious meal. Become that kind mother to your own soul. When you perceive discipline as love, all resistance will vanish. You will voluntarily do good things for yourself, not out of fear, but because you know you deserve to be cared for. Turn every small act of discipline in the day into a love letter sent to yourself. I do this because I love me. That is the secret to maintaining sustainable development without ever feeling exhausted. Lesson 7. Evening reflection, closing the day in mindfulness. And finally, as the sun sets, we come to the final ritual to complete the circle of a day, evening reflection. My dear friend, Many people carry today's burdens into their sleep. We lie in bed, but the mind is still racing with unfinished tasks, slips of the tongue, or worries about tomorrow. Sleep becomes fitful and tiring. To truly grow, you need to know how to power down and let go. Before going to sleep, spend a few quiet minutes looking back at the day that has passed. But please note, this is not a time for judgment or criticism of mistakes. This is a time for recognition and letting go. Ask yourself, have I lived fully with my initial intention today? If the answer is yes, smile and be grateful to yourself. If the answer is no, smile and forgive yourself. Tell yourself, today has ended. I have done the best I could within my ability. What remains unfinished, I will continue tomorrow. For now, I allow my body and mind to rest. Imagine you are packing all the joys and sorrows of today into a box and gently setting it down beside the bed. You enter sleep with a mind that is empty and light like a blank page, ready to be recharged. Deep sleep is the most important foundation for the next day's development. When you know how to close the old day in peace, you are preparing for a brilliant beginning at dawn. Cherish sleep as a sacred gift. Let mindfulness embrace you into deep slumber. My dear friend, thus we have walked together through a complete day of cultivation, from the fresh morning, through focused efforts, to loving oneself through discipline, and closing in surrender. I hope that this new perspective on self-improvement will help you shed the burdens of pressure from your shoulders. Remember, you do not need to become someone else to be loved. You only need to return, care for, and illuminate the precious gem already within you. True maturity always comes with peace, not exhaustion. If today's sharing brought you a bit of light or relief, please help me spread this wholesome energy further by clicking the like and subscribe buttons. May you always be as steady as a mountain, as leisurely as a cloud, and as clear as a cool stream. May every step you take bloom with flowers of mindfulness and love. Thank you for listening and trusting. Goodbye, and see you again in the next healing stories.